Get in, nerds. We are playing Victoria 3. We are still in a war with Sokoto and Spain. So we're chilling. That's what we're doing. We've almost got control of... There's the war with Mosi. The Atlantic Fleet has been repaired. Ground battles are happening over here, but we are winning them. So I think I'm going to leave the Atlantic Fleet in New York for the time being. And we'll focus on things in Africa. So we've got Outer Hausaland now. So I'm just going to hit the Conquer Outer Hausaland button. And that should give us everything we need. They're losing war support rapidly. They don't have war support protection because we're now holding Outer Hausaland. We are short on ammunition. That's not great. What is going on with our munitions plants? Oh, we got baking powder. Yeah, let's... Oh, that's curious. Hold on. I'm going to leave this for the moment, while I look into the munitions plants. Oh, artillery foundries, we need to go to breech loaders. They're fully employed, outputting 101 ammunition. Are we just over the amount of ammunition we need? I guess we are. Well, that's bananas. I'm going to... No, I'm not, because I'm currently researching dynamite, and dynamite unlocks the explosive shells method, which will be fine for me. So, I'm just going to go ahead and finish out the war as it stands. Hey, we got a an achievement called Stonks. That's for having 3 companies be prosperous. Hey, the Nevada gold mines are finally functioning. That's wonderful. So, you ready to make peace? No, another week or two? Looks like another week or two. Beautiful. Propose peace deal. So that's the end of the war. That gives us Outer Hausaland, which I will begin incorporating. We'll grab Hausaland later, but we're still incorporating American Hausaland. Once we've got all of them, we'll be exactly where we want to be. Oyo is a British protectorate, so we can't steal that, but we can grab whatever's not bolted down here. We are in another war, but that shouldn't be that big of a deal. We are really short on ammunition. We're also really short on cash, but again, this war is not going to go on much longer. In fact, this should be the end of it. Now that we've got this territory, let's go ahead and start colonizing. Oh, and we can colonize Ulata as well. I didn't realize. We'd made all that progress in Mauritania. Well, beautiful. We do not have Mosi completely occupied yet. Oh, we just did it. Beautiful. Alright, so we got some American armies that need to be reworked over to existing armies. We'll go ahead and hit the upgrade all units button. That should be just fine now. So, we are colonizing Adak. We are colonizing Air. Next target, I think, is going to be Ashanti. We're going to probably take Ashanti in 2 parts. Grabbing Togo is going to be 11.3 infamy, but grabbing Ghana is going to be 11.6. But if we wait, we could get both. If we wait a little bit longer, we need to be at 3 or lower infamy in order to do this. So maybe we will. Anyway, that's fine. We've got an Athabaska uprising. Let's go ahead and put the armies of Florida and Observation in the area so that they can fight a war. Actually gonna mobilize the regular army because they're in the area, and I don't want to put myself in a situation where I am, where I don't have an army in the area, because I know that, actually, Might be wise for me to create an army of Alaska and just station it in Alaska. I think that's going to be the right call. Because, boy howdy. Did I have some problems as Russia in Alaska. So, it appears that the Nevada Gold Consortium is, in fact, prosperous, and that means these gold mines are, in fact, profitable. They're oh no, they're not the number one gold mines in the world. They're the number one gold mines in America. So, let's take a quick look at Nevada. These logging camps are also attempting to hire, but they're almost fully hired out. And then these gold mines are pretty solid. So we are in position 3, but only temporarily due to those expeditions. That said, I'm kind of liking position 3. So maybe we'll spend some time building up some power projection and maybe getting ourselves a little stronger. How's the investment pool? The investment pool is still kicking around close to empty. So that means that our private sector is not yet at the point where it's using as much of the investment pool as it can. So we'll leave things where they are for now with that. Let's go ahead and organize another expedition. Since we've got, I think, one more. We'll map the American Western Frontier. I know just the person for the job. Let's see. Lucius Edmondson. He seems good. Let's send him. Shabamzo. Should I do an expedition in Africa at the same time? I don't think so. So, we'll get this going. The Miracle of Life. Ooh, excellent. The expedition is waken up in the middle of the night. Inhuman screams come from one of the tents and a female voice cries, "Baby." The miracle life, how less of a miracle it was, and how much of a torture it seemed when looking at that poor woman giving birth. The screams couldn't be stopped for at least 2 more hours, and all of our scarce medicines were allocated to such terrifying labor. To what extent they seemed to work, I must confess that my hopes are low, and that I wish the woman a simpler life after this Calvary. We'll take care of the baby, slight delay, or it's best for both of them to go back to a village, minor progress. I'm going to say we'll take care of the baby. That gets us a better event in villages. When we find them, and that's very important. We are crossing New Granada. New Granada is slowly decreasing in liberty desire, which is pretty good. They are still defiant. We're only cordial. I could demand a reduction in autonomy, but that actually would be a significant cost to me. An explorer's life for me. An insurgent group has emerged in the expedition, and 2 of the men have sneaked out in the middle of the night to go to a liquor store.
But we don't count. It's been a while since we're far from home. And explorers will be explorers, right? We're just exploring a bit in some other direction. But exploring nonetheless.
These men just need some discipline, reduce the peril, slight delay. They just need to break peril and minor progress. I don't want peril for minor progress. That seems like an error. So we'll just say they just need some discipline. That's going to delay the expedition, but that's okay. That's not that big of a deal. So we aren't getting there. Again, I know I'm putting all my armies... Dutch people coming to Nevada. Wonderful. For all the gold. There's gold in them there hills. So slowly, very slowly, this is going to increase our minting line item. We're at 56.7k. Arms. Wow, we are just getting all the bad events in this expedition. We're currently at 56.7k, and most of it's coming from GDP, but a good chunk of it is coming from mines, gold fields, really, in a bunch of different places. But slowly but steadily, the gold produced in the Nevada gold mines will become a significant part of our income. A circular expedition. The expedition to map the West has been traveling in circles. Lucius Edmondson can either pick a random direction and push on, or wait for night to fall and use the stars as a guide. I recognized the markings we'd left on a triangular-shaped rock. We kept walking as I decided not to mention them, but for the whispers among the members and their unsettling eyes, I was sure they also knew. We walk through the forest like autumn leaves, like broken branches, like uncared for stray animals, like those kids in fairy tales sent into the woods by evil stepmothers. A circle is a circle is a circle. Push on, 66% chance of a problem, 33% chance of doing the right thing. Or wait for nightfall, minor peril. We haven't gotten much. I'm going to risk it to get the biscuit here. Hopelessly lost. How irksome. Gains peril. We're still at low peril, but I don't know how much that matters. Excellent. Continuing to bring in immigrants. Wonderful. We are a little bit short on bureaucracy, so let's go ahead and throw some additional government admin in DC. There's not much population available, and the weekly migration is negative, but we can continue to build up the area. So I'm going to throw this in at the top, actually, just to get that done quickly and make sure that I've got administrative capacity available for incorporating new states as we incorporate them. The war is starting, and that's the war. Beautiful. Whew! That was good. Good thing. We've almost finished improving relations with the French Empire. Austria, relations are amicable. Prussia, they're amicable. Russia, they're amicable. Sweden, they're amicable. Spain, they're terrible, but we're rivals, so that's not a shocker. Bear sighted. A large grizzly has been sighted up ahead. We could hang back and wait for it to leave, or we could hunt it. Here the bears grow lean and famished. That does not make it any better. The keen eyes, the craving jaws, the drops of saliva dripping down the yellowed fangs. They're always so alert here, so vigilant. Oh, but it isn't only for them that food is scarce on these mountains. We'll hunt it, 66% success chance, or better to be safe, 70% expedition continues. We'll hunt it. These chances are very close by. So let's hunt it. Hey, a successful bear hunt. The expedition successfully hunted and killed the grizzly bear. We stalked it carefully but relentlessly. A few good shots were enough to put it down. It's times like these where I wish my manservant weren't as good a shot as he is. I could have used a trophy like that for my boudoir. Failure would have been unbearable. Minor progress. We're still technically at low peril. I kind of wish I could just see peril in a numerical format. That would be super duper. I know they don't want to necessarily do that, but it is what it is. A new quest. As the expedition advances, the prioritization of tasks increases in importance. Lucius Edmondson keeps track of what every man must do. However, the disobedient explorers have already stated their non-agreement with this decision. Document the new species of plants and flowers. Draw them. Draw the animals and document them too. One of our men has the hand and talent of an artist, although his difficulties with the anatomy have already been questioned by a few members. Regardless, he's been of a great help during this expedition. Most of the others are sent hunting, as our journey leaves behind the mapped villages and roads that others followed before us. It's just us now, us and the world. It's imperative that we find a settlement. I'm going to look for a settlement. We can gain peril on this. See, now we're in grave peril. So, this is a problem with the peril system. We were at low before, we gained peril, and now we're in grave peril. There should be an intermediate level of peril between those. And low peril shouldn't extend all the way up to like 4 out of 8. I think 8 is the threshold for peril. So that's kind of why I find the system a little hard to work with. So we're closing in on right up against Messina here, but let's go ahead and grab Ashanti. So we're gonna conquer. Well, first of all, let's not be too hasty here. There's no diplomacy. Very well. So first, I'm going to try to grab Togo. Benin is likely to stand against us. Isn't Benin a protectorate of ours? Benin. They are. But we have a truce, so I can't reduce their autonomy. I would love to reduce their autonomy, but I cannot. Alright, anyway, I don't think that's going to be that big of a deal. I don't think they have the capacity to reach in here, so I think that'll be just fine. Give me Togo. So 11.3, and then once again, when I grab Ghana, it'll be 11.6. Total those together, that's 22.9. Or 2.6. Oh, actually, I need to wait a little longer. Can't go there quite yet. I need to be below. I need to be at 2.0 or below. And I'm not going to add the second one to the primary demands because I don't want to put myself in a situation where I'm actually disincentivizing them to back down, because I want them to back down. Corsican mass immigration. Excellent. France, are you at frickin' national supremacy or something? You're not. France doesn't start at national supremacy. Colonization of Volta has completed. Beautiful. Where is... Here we go. So, I'm going to start incorporating... Oh! Population there is massive. Anyway, that's why I'm building up these new government admins. Ooh. 3 different events. Whichever way forward. With the attitudes of the yeoman farmers towards Great Britain growing more apathetic, the leadership has begun to discuss reassessing the group's support for the American-British Fellowship. It was more difficult to get appointments at the Foreign Ministry these days. The initial interest had been inspired long since waned, the lobby's activities falling into Washington's background noise. The yeoman farmers were the first to lose interest. Their representatives initially disheartened by an absence of news, and then no longer inclined to read the papers when they arrived. What reason do we care for happenings in London? Their younger members challenged. The elders did not know how to respond. It was time for a change in course. They leave it. Why change something that works? They stay. I'm going to have them stay. The fellowship is a good one. They're giving us a lot of approval right now. +4 over here. And there are only lobbies, so it's just fine. The duel. Eluhe Viela and Cornelius Vanderbilt. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. Wait a minute. He's not the president, right? No, the president's still Abraham Lincoln. But he's the VP. So Cornelius Vanderbilt. Interesting. The aura surrounding the two figures is like something out of a romantic novel. Cornelius Vanderbilt smiles. He's been rehearsing this moment before falling asleep. Elihu Viela, you are a friendless bastard. Your insults cannot go unwarranted. Pick a weapon of choice and we shall meet tomorrow. You know I'm going to say let them fight, because I love that stuff. Bam! Elihu Viela died. So we got a new leader of the evangelicals. He's Henry Ross, a jingoist. Interesting. Not all that relevant to our politics, but interesting. Oh, and we got one more event, a foreign manifesto. The recent translated works of Roberto de Preti have become... Let me just check North Italian. Roberto de Pretis have become popular within the movement to enact interventionism. The relationship is developed to the point of Roberto de Pretis openly endorsing the movement. And for a whole large class, there is no other road, especially for a nation so eminently practical as the American. The great thing is to get the working class to move as a class, that once obtained, they will soon find the right direction, and all who resist will be left out in the cold with small sects of their own. Our struggle is an international one, or this foreign influence ought to be punished. Weaker trade unions is not necessarily something I want, so I'm just going to say our struggle is an international one. Slightly stronger movement is just fine with me. Again, just waiting for... Alright, perfect. We are good to go here. So, give me Togo. They will not accept. They've got an army... 50 battalions, which should be fine. Attitude worsened, very good. I have some sways available. Let's throw in a conquer state on Ghana as well. Oh, that puts us directly at 25. Well, hopefully it'll go down. New Grenada's damaging relations. And we have an unmanned border, which is just fine. Alright, so I'm going to mobilize the armies of Florida and observation. And I'm going to raise their conscripts. And I'm going to put them on the main front. And I hope that all of those troops will not find themselves loading into the regular army, which is not currently mobilized. We'll see how that goes. Ooh, there's a gold rush happening in Alaska. Happily, our infamy is down. Gold has been discovered in American Alaska. People from all corners of the earth are converging there, confident that they will discover the next great lode and become incredibly rich. It was a single misplaced foot in the river. His son, quick at his side, hoisting him from the water before the currents claimed before the currents claimed him. Then, as the sediment rose, both his leg and his walking stick, they saw it, the unmistakable glimmer of Plutus's very blood. By the next morning, they were both at the river with sieves and shovels, and by that night, the whole town had joined them. Spread the word, or it's mine, it's all mine. You know I'm going to get the second one, because I love gold.
I love gold!
Almost done with these motor industries, continuing to build up government admin, which is nice. I think... So there's dynamite unlocked. I think from here... So first of all, before I forget, munitions plants, go to explosive shells. That'll increase their overall capacity, which is really important. The next thing on the tech list, I think... What else do we have in society at Tier 2? We don't have much. So I think we're going to go with steel frame construction. And we're going to get ready to do that by building a lot of steel mills. Getting steel frame construction in 1859, super duper strong. I think from here I want civilizing mission and then human rights. And we'll continue to work through the tier 3s. Armies are getting over here. Let's put the Atlantic Fleet here. Good mix of capital ships and frigates. Fleets obviously don't have mobilization options, but that's alright. A new quest. We're in grave peril. We've seen this one more. Again, this is hunting must be prioritized, or it's imperative we find a settlement. I'm going to grab the second one. We'll try to get peaceful intentions. 66% chance. Beautiful. A few days after being sent on a reconnaissance mission, members of the expedition came back announcing that they found a native village in which the group can find aid, using the newborn baby as a symbol of their peaceful intentions. As days come and go, our landscape offers minimal changes. These mountains are sharper, these are older, more eroded. Now the river runs on this side, now it runs on the other side. But the chain of circumstances stays the same. Our men came back with great news and announced that another native settlement was found, so we prepared our gifts. Needles and mirrors and medals and ribbons and all accessories that looked rich and beautiful. We'd already repeated the ritual 100 times, but every one felt equally important. We needed their help. Try to barter, reduce peril, slightly delayed. There's anyone here who can guide us, minor progress. Or, they offered us some provisions for the baby and its mother, reduce peril, and gain minor progress. I'm going to go with that second one. Shabamzo. Okay, so now we're at medium peril. But again, medium peril is like surprisingly high. We're also continuing to build up government admin. This is increasing our cash flow, which I'm pretty pleased with overall. So I think it's time. We now have the ability to slightly increase the size of the construction sector once again. I'm going to build these up, and I think a couple levels each in Illinois, Indiana, and Tennessee. Yeah, I think that'll be fine. And I'm going to throw those in at the top of, I think right after the government admins that I'm currently working on. So that's going to cost us a little bit more cash, but it's going to be worth it. A stop on the way. With the low temperatures of the mountains, the expedition finds a perfect meadow to take shelter, near the river and far enough from any other village to not disturb their land. A fort built by a previous explorer stands proudly as a haven. Again, this exists because we built a fort in one of our early expeditions. It was an unusually cold month when the range of mountains announced their unmerciful judgment toward us. As the sun started to set, a glistening light penetrated the canopy of trees, making the shadows tremble, and the raindrops covered the brown, almost dead grass. Our expedition was tired, and that tiredness of the soul, far from home and close to the ocean, became much more tangible when the last rays illuminated their swollen faces. We cannot afford the delay, add progress and peril, or we'll stop and rest, gain progress, and reduce peril. I'm going to go with that second one. Again, we're just, we're back from the brink here. We were on the brink, now we're back. Alright, so how are things looking? We're still on attack, right? Ooh, Army of Observation needs another leader. Let me see. Thomas Jackson, stalwart defender, surveyor, brave. He seems like an ideal candidate. Once again, we have 19 battalions in the regular army. Again, Not super duper pleased with that. I don't love that that keeps happening. Again, we got... It's not showing them, but they're definitely in here. So I guess we're mobilizing the regular army and putting them in the area as well. I don't think anyone's going to get involved, so I think we can send the entire army away from the United States for a little bit. Let me just quickly... Yep, we are incorporating these areas. Dahomey is getting there. Togo is getting there. Windward Coast is getting there. American Guinea is getting there. Mauritania is still growing, but not for much longer. Just got a little bit more space in here. We're kind of racing the British, and that's alright. Alright, there's the war with Ashanti kicked off. We're at 23 infamy, but that's completely fine. I'm not worried about it one bit. Gold in Arizona. Excellent. This is Baroda, I think, yeah. Rebellion in Baroda. That's fine. Gosh. Our bureaucracy is still... We're still pretty tight on bureaucracy, I have to say. Oh, you know what? Because I think there's not a lot of population in DC. And I think these government admins are having a hard time hiring. So that was not the smartest, but I get a throughput bonus. Well, there should be migration happening here now. Lower stratum is not doing super hot in DC, I must say. You know what? Let's maybe build up government admins someplace else. Is there anywhere where we've got a shortage of governance capacity? There is a little bit. We need a little government admin in Nevada, which is, well, I don't want to take away from the gold. Oh, the gold mines are actually almost fully employed. Well, excellent. So we'll throw a couple levels of government admin here. 2 levels. And the other places we're having shortages are Hausaland, Outer Hausaland, and California. So we'll throw 1 level in California. That should be completely fine. Wait a minute. It says we're only using 14 of 150. Same with Nevada. Hold on. This isn't right. What's happening here? Why are we having tax wastage in these areas? Oh, it's the recently conquered business. Alright, well, that's fine. Alright, let's throw a few more in Pennsylvania. Bring Pennsylvania up to 5, just while DC is getting its stuff together. Throw those up at the top there. These ones in. I'm going to put the ones over here. We're getting like 65 administrative capacity, bureaucracy per level here, so it should be fine. Alright, Ashanti is ours. So, we've already got Togo partially incorporated, but of course now I need to incorporate Ghana. So we'll get started on that. And now I'm going to need even more governing capacity. So we're currently building up, what did I say? Pennsylvania, you're going to get another 3 levels of government capacity. And DC is going to get a couple more, I think. Is that wise? No, that's not wise. Sorry, Railway in Rhode Island. You're just not that important to me. I've got to become a government that governs more. So, you know, that's how it be. Again, we're going to put the ones in DC at the bottom of the list just so that we can make sure those get done within good time. Anyway, we are getting close to the end of the episode. Still haven't gotten any of these states incorporated, but we're getting there. We're hurtling towards having some states in Africa, and that will be just excellent. We finished out a war against the Athabaska people, and we are well on our way to having a completed expedition. I've had fun today. I hope you've had fun as well, and I will see you on the other side.